G'day everyone, welcome to WORA 4x4. Well, sort of. I mean, we're kind of WORA on two wheels at the moment. As you can see, I've got the bike, and we're about 10 minutes from the Victorian border. That over there is my friend B, who kindly dropped me off, which is good. And we're going to embark on a 3-day journey up the coast towards Kingston. So hopefully nothing goes wrong. We've already had to jump start the bike, so that was interesting. Enough of me talking, let's get on with the video. Well, I gotta say, the Victorian high country was fun, but it's good to be back here on the limestone coast, where it's home to the best beach driving in Australia, and I swear, if you like a challenge, this place is where you gotta be for sand driving. But not only that, you can't miss the absolutely superb views and even better camping. So what are you waiting for? Pack your rig, buckle up, and join us for some of the best beach driving adventures South Australia has to offer. On this adventure of WORA 4x4, we start right here, the Picaninni Ponds, roughly 10 minutes west from the South Australia-Victoria border, and is also the very first beach access of South Australia. My weapon of choice is my 2006 Kawasaki 250 that I'm sure has more than enough potential for this trip, so let's get started. We've come up against this little crossing here. Now, I do hesitate on the bike, and I think to myself, well, it's looking kind of deep. And, you know, I'm not that experienced with crossing water crossings on a motorbike. So I fiddle around with the idle screw there for a little bit, and then we reassess the situation. Now, a local told me that if you head out towards the mouth, right out towards the ocean there, that it should be relatively shallow. I'll spin around on the bike here and go check it out. See what that middle bit of that crossing looks like. But really, it's looking roughly the same. And I'm a real stickler for not getting salt water on the bike. It's getting awfully close here. So I think I might just cut my losses and follow the track out to the road and come back in. Just go around it. Simple as that. Rather than trying to, you know, go through that water crossing. And maybe if it is a little bit deep, I don't exactly want to be flooding the motorbike and ruining my adventure this early in the trip. So I think that's what we'll do. One thing I did forget to mention is that this little camping area right here is actually a free camping area. Quite handy too, being right next to the beach and right next to a freshwater drain. So if you guys like checking it out, feel free to, because it's free. I'd just like to apologise quickly for the camera quality. I've had this camera for well over 5 years, and we use this camera also in the No2 Rocks episode around this general vicinity, which will be coming up later in the video. So regarding that, we're working pretty hard to look for another action camera, but until then I'm afraid we're stuck with this one. Even though it's doing a really good job, the quality is not quite what I really wanted. But anyway, can't help that I suppose. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as quick as that, with no issues at all, we're back on the beach again. I like me trips when it's pretty easy. Now it's time to open up that throttle and see how far we can get today.
Bugging myself up there, didn't I? Yeah.
And here we are with the magic power of editing. We've made it through to Port McDonnell. Now Port McDonnell's roughly about 30 kilometres south of Mount Gambier, and Mount Gambier is the second largest city in South Australia. Now Port McDonnell can also get very touristy, especially in the busy season, because it's it's a coastal town. Who doesn't like coming to see the beach? This is the car park of Finger Point, just west of Port McDonnell. It's part of their scenic drive road. However, we are here for one specific thing. Finger Point, as beautiful as it is, has a pretty relatively steep down ramp to access the beach. This is our ticket to move up the coast. Now, many four-wheel drivers seem to get caught out here, being that the beach is usually pretty soft, and part of the down ramp has been washed out, more towards the bottom there. So if you do happen to come down this way, just be very careful, maybe check out the beach first before you go down. And of course, wouldn't luck have it, I almost lost the bike down there in that soft sand myself. Oh well, luckily the tide's out. The beach is relatively hard this time of the year. We'll go for a scoot and we'll continue our adventure. Beaches from Finger Point onward can be usually a bit hit and miss. Sometimes you can get them quite hard, like it is today, and sometimes you can get sections that are pretty damn soft. Or the whole thing can be soft. Or the whole thing can be hard. It just depends on what sort of weather, what time of year you come down. But one thing that I have noticed is that the bike is dipping and diving all over the place in this soft sand. Now, what I've done is I pumped the tyres up a little bit so I can avoid these rocks that are coming up through Cape Douglas. That may have been a bit of a dodgy move considering how soft some sections of the coast have been. It hasn't been too bad, I've managed it so far, but the bike is getting a little bit wavery through some of the softer sand. So I reckon once we get through to Carpenter's Rocks, we're going to drop these tyre pressures right down to dead flat and see how we go there. Now, even though the bike's carrying a heck of a lot of weight, the tyres don't seem to be bagging out too bad. So I reckon we might risk the tubes and run dead flat. Or at least that's what my gauge says. but that's for further up. Now, some of you guys that have been following the channel for quite a while may remember this section of terrain. This is where we brought the Daihatsu Rocky in one of our episodes, the Rough and the Rocky Cape Douglas adventure. Speaking of, welcome to Cape Douglas everyone, we're back again. Well, unfortunately, our head camera cut out, but we did make it to Carpenter Rocks. I sat up here for about an hour and had some lunch, got harassed by the seagulls, and charged the camera on a little 12-volt socket I installed on the bike. And after that, filled up the quacker with juice. I tell you what, if you guys ever come down to Carpenter Rocks, I highly recommend coming in the morning and snatching up one of their homemade pies. These are the bee's knees, I tell you. Unfortunately for me, though, it was well past lunch, and those pies were all sold out. You bugger. I ended up having a fish burger with the lot, and I tell you, that hit the spot just right. Even though they were out of pies, I thoroughly enjoyed their fish burger. Fresh fish from the ocean, can't go wrong. In fact, even making this video, I'm tempted to go back for another one right now. Actually, I might even jump on the bike in a minute and go for a spin. If that didn't tell you how good they are, nothing will.
anyway, fellas.
I'm having a chat to a couple of those fellas there on their bikes. And what I learnt was something very, very funny. Kawasaki made I think it was a 2010 model 450 or 400, well, Kawasaki. But the thing I don't understand is that the damn thing had a kickstart. How come mine, being a 2006, doesn't have a kickstart? It's only a 250. I'd prefer to have a kickstart. I asked him if he wanted to swap his engine, but no, he kindly declined, which was very unfortunate for me, but oh well. Maybe next time. And for you guys that don't really recognise this area, we're currently at number 2 Bay, the Canunda National Park. Beautiful little spot, and is also very touristy among the busy months. But I highly recommend, if you get a chance, grab yourself a pie at Carpenter Rocks, and 20 minutes in the northerly direction, you'll come to number 2 Rocks. This place is absolutely superb. However, the beaches are also very soft. And unfortunately for me, I struck out on this one. I tried to turn up the bank, but couldn't quite hang on to the bike, so I ended up down here, wherever here is. With attempt 2, we'll take out the hard sand, and we'll shoot straight up and onto the bank, and we'll get there. Very, very soft sand. The poor little 250's working its guts out, but she does a bloody good job, that quacker. Really good bike.
Just there.
Yep, as I said, soft sand. It eventually pulled me up with a jerk, so now I've got to turn around and find another way up. I could attempt this again, but being a loaded bike, and I've been having trouble as it is, even with dead flat tyres, I might take the easy way and head around. Anyway, that's life, I suppose. You can't win them all, even though I tried. Pulled up for a bit of a break. We're at Mount St Batty, just out of Southend. Oh. Oh, it takes it out of you. Good fun though. So we've been through Carpenter Rocks, and I had a fish burger. That was bloody good. They always do a good job there. Very windy, so I'm kind of, you know, holding the camera close up behind a bush. But beautiful down here, absolutely superb. But anyway, I think the plan that I originally had was to camp at Little Rock or somewhere around that vicinity. Number 2 if it was getting a bit late, but of course I didn't encounter like I didn't make room for daylight savings or anything like that when I planned this trip, so it still feels like lunchtime, and you know, so we're just out of Southend. I think we're going to push for Beachport tonight. We'll camp just out of Beachport there somewhere, set the tent up. I mean, I could quite easily go home. The home's just over the road there, but I don't know. Kind of defeats the purpose of buying a tent and all the bike stuff and coming out here, so I might, you know, as tempting as it is to go and have a shower and all that, I think I might push on to Beachport and camp out of Beachport. Tomorrow morning we'll pick up and head through to Robe. See how far we go there. So far the bike's handling great, but I can fill you in all that later. So. Okay, so we just got to Beachport. I'm looking a bit tired actually. I feel tired. It's been a big day, riding from Picaninni Ponds all the way to Beachport. So I didn't think I was going to do it in a day, but we're here now. Look at that. Anywho, I think this little spot right here is going to be good for camping tonight. I know if you're local to the area, you guys might know where I am. I'm not going to give it away, but all the locals should know this spot, especially when I reveal what's next to me. Oh, it's all green up through there. Wow, I haven't seen it green up in there. Hello, there goes a duck. Quack. Anywho, hey ducks, I've got one of your mates at home. He's a pet. So, well, this would be a good little spot to come and sit and watch the wildlife. Yeah, a bit soft like that, but anyway, I don't mind nature at all. But yeah, if I have a little squizzy down here. Now you guys know where I am, don't you? Oh, beautiful. Nice and calm and quiet. Anyway, it's good. I reckon I'm going to be in for a nice night tonight. Although, come to think about it, it's next to a giant body of water. And of course, mosquitoes like water. So hopefully I don't get disturbed too much tonight. But, what are you going to do? I haven't really come prepared as far as mosquitoes go, but doesn't matter, I've got a tent. It's fine. Oh, excuse me. Now that I've stopped riding the bike, everything's sort of all fizzled up. So, anywho, enough of me talking and showing you around and everything like that. Let's try out this new tent, eh? This tent right here, brand spanking new, because the one that I bought off eBay a fair while ago, I thought I could use that. It's a bit of a budget trip, this one, so didn't really want to spend too much money, because, you know, still trying to get into the whole motorbike thing, and thought I'd give it a go, try it out. So far so good, it's been fun. But that tent right there, yeah, it was quite easily, you can quite easily go out and buy a $50 tent, which I was about that close to doing. Aussie Disposals have some really good deals on at the moment, and yeah, I was that close to buying a tent. One of them was the Nomad 2, which I think at the time was about 80 bucks, somewhere there. But they also had a couple of $50 ones there, which really good, look really good. They're self-standing, so that's a bonus. But I ended up going
The t-shirt's a bit long. I like it like that though. I ended up going with the Explore Planet Earth Spartan 2 hiking tent, and well, I can't really inform you on how well it's performing because this is the first time I've used it. It's about $200, $200 tent, and that's basically the camp kit right there, because I didn't spend much money on anything else. But I think personally that good sleeping quarters and a good roof over your head, two of the best things that you can possibly have when you're camping. So I know this is a budget trip and everything, but I kind of spared no expense, I guess you could say, when it come to that arrangement. I wanted something that would, you know, just be the stick. Anyway, time to get set up and I'll show you guys what this thing looks like. So here we go. Alrighty, there she is. The mosquitoes, I mean Spartan 2, Spartan 2. Anyway, let's have a look inside here, eh? Open up your little zippy bags and you've got a great big cloth thing hanging down here. That's your midgie net. There we go. Is it worth 180 bucks? This is supposed to fit 2 people. Hell, my fat ass in here, it's only going to fit 1. Two very thin people, comfortably, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, no, this little cloth thingy just goes up in there. So they tell me. Ah, yeah, righto. Might work better if the tent is pegged out properly. But I'm not going to worry. There's already a mosquito in here, little bugger. I'll zip up this other door. That's going to be obsolete for tonight. Now I'm going to get the mattresses sorted. Oh, they're coming in, the buggers. Alright, we'll get this sorted. This might interest a lot of people, perhaps. It's what's in my little bag. So, let's open him up and have a little look-see. First of all, couple of bottles of water from the best shop in the world. Nah, well, the cheapest shop in the world. Howdy. Righto. Couple of cans of soup. You know, tucker. This right here is my homemade barbecue. Yeah, where is it? There we go. Here we go. This little thing right here is a little pouch I got from Demi's in Mount Gambier for $10. Why is that important? Well, that's because it holds everything in it. I'll zip that up too, didn't I? bought from Aussie Disposals is a High Country 3/4 self-inflating mattress, so it only really covers the neck to the back of your knees. That's that one. A Kmart bought airbed, full length, you know, they're really small. I quite like that one. And a Aussie Disposals bought, I think it was, this one was $10 too. Mosquitoes everywhere. It's self-inflating pillow, so I reckon that's going to be really cool as well. I'll get that everything sorted. And yeah, and that all fits in there. Plus I've got knife and fork in the bottom bit, as well as deodorant. And I've got some clothes, cans, and my little cooker, which I'll show you eventually. So yeah, I better get myself some organised and catch up with you soon. So the old tent's all set up. The bike went pretty well today. Had a bit of a quick change of clothes, and, you know, a bit more comfortable. But those bloody mosquitoes are driving me nuts. So I'll try to keep me at the tent, and when I zip that up later on, hopefully none of the bastards wake me up. But anyway, there's probably, I'm gonna guess, 2.5 hours before dark. But that's right on sunset. So, I think I'm going to grab my 3-legged stool, have a drink of water, and sit and watch the wildlife for a while. You know, chill out, maybe get in contact with the folks and just let them know that I'm doing alright. Made it to Beachport. Worst case scenario, if these mosquitoes don't leave me alone, I reckon I might get someone to come pick me up, hightail me back home for the night, and I'll come back in the morning. But I didn't tell you guys that. Doing a Bear Grylls, so we'll just see how we go. Anyhow, thank you guys for watching this somewhat video of WORA on 2 wheels. I can't say 4-wheel drive this time. And if you guys like this sort of content, please let me know. I can. This is just more or less like a trial run, break it all in and see how I like motorbike camping, more or less. So I thought I'd bring you guys along for the ride. Quite literally, along for the ride. No pun intended. Sorry, mosquito. So yeah, let me know. Drop a comment. Get in touch with us over Facebook, WORA 4x4. And yeah, if you like this whole on 2 wheel sort of business, we can perhaps do yeah, this is going to be fun. Yeah, perhaps do a bit more of it. So hopefully next time, not so many mosquitoes, but that's my mistake. I chose to camp here because, you know, it's quite a lovely place. Anyway, enough of my ugly mug. You guys have a good day, good night, cup of tea, however you like to, whenever you're watching this video. Sorry, another mosquito. And we'll leave it at that.